Hello and welcome to the Best Boys podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Vince.
This week, a lot's happened. And by lots happened, I mean you saw something that's new and not on Netflix and not a romantic comedy. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Good. So what did you watch this week?
I watched Logan.
And that's it.
Yep.
I saw Logan when it came out. I don't remember.
It's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
What was your movie theater experience like this time?
I went to the AMC. It was full. It was 9 o'clock, like 9:10, something like that. Everyone was quiet. At the end of the movie, during a specific scene, the person in front of me's phone went off. Other than Logan, I watched an episode of Netflix's original, quote-unquote, original series, Ultimate Beastmaster, which is a ripoff of Ninja Warrior.
It's what I thought it was.
And I also watched an episode of Top 10 Secrets and Mysteries, which is like a alien conspiracy, time travel, space, stupid stuff like that show. 13 episodes of that. I was like, it's called Top 10, but why are there 13 episodes? But each episode is a different Top 10, which disappointed me because I wanted them to be stupid. Oh yeah, Iron Fist came out today. I have Netflix open.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
The supposed worst Marvel Netflix original.
Maybe I'll start watching that later.
Maybe I won't too. I probably won't. Let's see what it has on Rotten Tomatoes first. It has a 17% from critics, from all critics. Top critics gave it an 18% though. 91% of people want to see it though, so still not as good as of a rating as the FX original Legion X-Men show, which is apparently really good. I have the first episode recorded. I just haven't watched it. Everyone says that's an amazing show. So sticking with the superhero movie, since we're on that right now, apparently the Batman script is being scrapped and rewritten completely from scratch.
Oh, great.
So that movie, hopefully, isn't going to come out ever.
You just have no love for DC, do you?
Have you seen their movies?
Yeah.
Exactly. Here's a kind of a unpopular opinion, but I don't think that the Dark Knight trilogy is even that good. The second one everyone loves because Heath Ledger died. That's why it got any love. And then Rises was not good. The first one was...
That one was just weird.
And Christian Bale is a terrible Batman. His voice is terrible. But I know that Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, was cast in Mission Impossible 6, opposite of Thomas Cruise.
I also saw on Slashroom that DC is wanting to release another film in 2017.
What would it be, though?
That's what the thing, like, they wouldn't know what it's gonna be yet.
So they would film it right now?
Basically.
And edit it? Ooh, boy. Yeah, DC is smart, though, so they'll do it.
Aquaman pushed back 2 months will go head-to-head with Spider-Man. So probably Aquaman and Spider-Man will be coming out on the same day.
So you're telling me that Aquaman is going to do terrible in the box office?
Probably.
Because I don't think... If Wonder Woman isn't good, people aren't going to trust DC anymore.
Yeah. But did you see the new trailer for Wonder Woman yet?
Yeah.
It still looks pretty good. The trailers are looking really good.
There's a lot of stuff in that trailer that... there's a lot of stuff in the trailer that I'm like... That's something that doesn't need to be in the movie. There doesn't need to be any comedy. DC's trying to go for the gritty action movie, but they're like, Marvel does well and they have comedy in theirs, so let's put a little bit of comedy. You guys are ruining yourselves by making a joke that isn't gonna land, and everyone's gonna be like, oh. Also, I really don't think that they should have done a love interest in the first Wonder Woman movie. They should have had it just be her doing stuff. But she's also in love with Chris Pine, who, spoilers, probably gonna die in that movie.
Probably.
If he doesn't, what the hell?
Well, what else could it possibly happen to him? Because this is in, World War II, 1, 2? One of those?
Around there.
It's one of the World Wars.
I don't really trust DC at all, so we'll have to see. Their animated stuff is good.
Yeah.
Like Under the Red Hood. But since Spider-Man and Aquaman are coming out on the same day, what do you think is going to come out on the same day as the Venom spinoff that Sony is making? Sony's has announced the release date for the Venom movie October 5th, 2018.
And Sony's making this one?
Yes. It's going to
have Tobey Maguire coming back. Yeah! I'm just kidding.
You mean emo Peter Parker?
You mean the best Spider-Man ever?
The best scene in any Spider-Man movie ever? I love that scene.
Honestly, though, I'd love to see Tobey Maguire come back for it because he did the Venom originally.
No, that was Topher Grace, who was Venom.
Well, I know, but he was part of that Venom thing
Mm-hmm.
in Spider-Man 3.
But I want to know who they're going to cast as Venom, because I wonder what story of Venom they're going to do, because I know there's a comic book, or there's a run out right now of a comic book where Venom is a mercenary paid by the U.S. government to do stuff, and there's also the Venom is a guy that's taken over by the symbiote, and he just does stuff. But really, who is Venom, you know?
So when I saw the trailer for Life yesterday, the organism just break the guy's finger, that was just nuts. Because, I mean, he had it straight up behind his hand, and then it just just crushed it to the, right or something. It was ridiculous.
That movie, I was kind of excited for when I first saw stuff for it, but every time I see a trailer, I'm like, this is just a mix of a bunch of different movies now. It's Alien and The Thing, I feel like, because they're going to kill the specimen on the ship. Probably only one of them is going to live, and I feel like The Thing is going to take over their bodies, because you're never going to see it. Or it's going to be a tiny thing, or it's going to be a ripoff of the episode of Cowboy Bebop, where they have a little thing running around in their spaceship, and when it bites people, they almost die, but they don't. They just pass out. Sean Gunn said that Guardians 3 is going to be a thing, but he doesn't know if he's going to direct it.
Who said this?
The director of the last 2 Guardians movies.
Oh.
First off, I haven't seen Guardians, the first one.
You've never seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy?
Nope.
Why not?
Never really cared enough.
Good one.
I don't really have an interest in superhero movies unless there's more than one superhero in it. Because Doctor Strange, in my opinion, wasn't that good. It was visually kind of impressive, but you can tell 95% of that movie was shot on a green screen. The story was literally just building it up so that he can be in Thor, though. The villain in Doctor Strange, Mads Mikkelsen, Calicius or whatever, not really a villain in that movie. He does pretty much nothing.
True.
The movie is just introducing Doctor Strange, showing you his powers, and being like, oh, okay, but this guy's going to be the actual villain, just to let you know. They show you that planet, which, again, feel like is just padding for time continuing to reverse. It was just, I don't know, man. Just make more movies like Logan, where you actually have a story that people care about, and you're not focusing on just fight scenes the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, Logan has, 3 fight scenes in it?
Yeah, for the most part,
Like, the first one, the one at the place.
That he lives? That one? Are you talking
No, that's the first one.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about?
That's the first one. And then the one where he's at the... Yes.
Okay.
And then the third one where that happens. Those are the only 3
big ones. There's a few other small things that happen, but at the very,
very
beginning
is barely a fight.
Yeah, I know, but it's still it's a first kind of thing.
I'm saying one that's an actual superhero movie fight, where it's a bunch of cinematic shots of the person doing flips and jumping. That's usually superhero movie 101. If you're gonna have a fight scene, the person has to do at least one jump punch, where they go like this, and then they go like that, and their legs are behind them, and they kill the person. Well, unless it's rated PG-13.
That's the one thing I like. That's why I like movies being rated R, because they can add the blood.
Could you imagine if Infinity War, not the first one, Infinity War Part 2 is just rated R for no reason? There's oh, but this one's rated R. And then Rocket Raccoon gets skinned halfway through the movie.
Oh my gosh.
What? But they actually show a real raccoon being skinned. It's not CG at all. And you're just I wanted them to make these R, but this is just too much. This is just... Why?
But what I also liked about Logan was how it was more serious.
Yeah.
It was a much more serious movie.
Did you get choked up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Because it's not like a comedic movie like Deadpool that was rated R.
It's not supposed to be.
I know it's not supposed to be, but it's just I like how they did make it more serious in that fact. Yeah, I didn't cry, but I mean I felt it. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, I felt one tear. There's a specific part, but we'll get to that after, because I feel like we're just going to talk about Logan for the rest of it.
Right.
I feel like the effects for it were really good. When they did the guy gets his arm chopped off in the first fight scene, or the showing what was happening with the kids, their powers in the video that the lady recorded that he was watching. That was pretty good. What's his name? The albino dude.
Caliban.
I really liked his character. I keep looking at the time so I can say stuff, but I get why he would... Okay, I'm just gonna start spoilers now. So spoilers from now on for Logan, so if you haven't seen it, stop listening now and go watch it. I feel like he wouldn't have sold out Professor X like that.
Yeah,
Even if he was getting tortured, like, by the sunlight, I feel like he would have just been like, kill me. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. I feel like he could have pointed them in the right direction, but told them to keep going farther, or go in a different direction in some way.
Yeah, I feel like he could be like, alright, they're going north, but where were they going? What was the exact...
North Dakota.
North Dakota? I would have been like, they're going north, they're going to Oregon, and they're going to go to Canada from Oregon.
Yeah.
But since it's a movie, you have to have conflict. The little girl...
Freaking crazy.
Best actress in that movie. Even though she barely speaks English.
Oh, I know.
She
doesn't
really
even
speaks at all.
Yeah, she doesn't really speak until, like, the last half hour of the movie.
The last third act
Yeah.
of the movie, she talks mostly in Spanish, yelling, and very fast.
It was so
at
funny.
Logan. But the part that made me, like, tear up was when he's pretty much dying.
Yeah.
And when she says daddy,
Yeah, that's
I was like...
yeah, I know, right? Like, she finally recognizes him as...
I was kind of expecting, when they were crossing the border, like, who were they going to? 'Cause
Yeah.
they were going to somebody. I wanted them to show, like, a mutant that we kind of, like, that everyone was like, oh, that's someone, but it couldn't be, because in the Old Man Logan comic books, which is the one that this movie is based off of, this isn't in the X-Men trilogy universe, or the Days of Future Past universe. This is in the Old Man Logan universe. In that universe, he kills all the X-Men. I don't remember why. I think his mind gets taken over and he kills everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually going to show that scene at the opening,
Right.
but the director said that he felt like it would have taken away from the movie. But I feel like it would have been way better, because they never really explained what happened to the X-Men. He just like, oh, they all died.
Yeah.
Like, how, though? Was it because Caliban was looking for mutants for the government to kill?
Mm-hmm.
That was what he was originally doing.
Yeah, and they tell you that in the movie.
Yeah. So was it him? Was it Magneto? Was it the Sentinels? They didn't tell you any of that stuff. Hugh Jackman also wanted the movie to end differently.
Right.
He didn't want Logan to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that would have...
Yeah, because then people would have been expecting him to make another one then.
Not even that. It would have just... The movie wouldn't have been as impactful, I think, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
If he just didn't die. If he had gotten impaled and that kid that gave him the green stuff that he injected, if he'd just been coming over to him and pulled him off the screen like, here, and healed him, I would have been like, oh, okay. Or if... This is something that I actually thought was going to happen. It starts zooming in on all the rocks that he's buried under. I thought you were just going to see claws pop up, and then credits were going to roll. Like, I thought it was going to be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really emotional when she turns that cross.
Oh, I
to
know.
The X. I was like, tear.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, man. So when I went yesterday at, like, in the middle of the day, 3:40, showtime.
Good time to go.
And there was nobody there. I had the whole theater to myself.
Good time to go.
Yeah, it was great. And I'm just sitting there and like when anything happened, I was so glad that I could just be like, "What?" Like I didn't really like say anything out loud, like super loud, but I was like, "Whoa, what?" Like I was like moving around a little bit, like, "What?"
So I was having a heated debate with my friend that I saw the movie with on what Professor X's seizures did.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that it stopped time.
It didn't. I don't think.
But
I
said it just paralyzed people.
Yeah.
Because how would everyone be moving still and be able? Well, people be able to like. Because there's that scene where Logan's like going into the hotel room, and the guy looks over at him and just kills him.
I think what it was is not completely paralyzing. Like that's part of it, but I think it's more something in their head, like it's like almost crushing.
Like it kind of causes like an aneurysm or something.
Yeah, because they make it sound in the movie that at some point before Logan gets to Professor X and like keeps him in that silo, that it seems like he like hurt a lot of people at this Westchester or something like that is what it's called.
Nothing said about that. The only time we get like kind of oh, that's what happened is when they're in the in Vegas, or not in Vegas, wherever they. I don't know
that farm.
No, the before that, when they're in the hotel room, like when everyone's paralyzed, that's the only time where we're like, oh, so this is what happens to people. We see that Logan can still move and that X-23 can still move, but Caliban can't. So,
but we also saw it earlier in the movie when he had the seizure and when he was in the silo and he was having the seizure.
But we didn't see on a grand scale.
Yeah,
what it did to, just normal humans. Yeah. We saw what it did to mutants only, and the reason that X-23 and Wolverine and Logan can move was because the adamantium, I guess.
Or just because they're stronger.
They're genetically improved.
Yeah. And I love that she has the foot claw.
Yeah. She used that twice.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off.
But it was so cool.
She used it once when she just did like the stomp in the beginning, and then during the last fight scene she kind of just did a spin kick and
she jabbed that thing into the X-24's back like 3 times in a row. It was the funniest thing. I was like, it was like, whoa. Yeah, she was crazy.
But, alright, dude, that black family did nothing wrong. They were the nicest people.
I know. You know what I thought about when I saw that? I'm like, Logan can't go to a farm without the family dying.
Very true. I was thinking that something was going to happen between X-23 and that son. Because, like, how they were acting towards... Not, like, anything, like, creepy. Like, just, like, she was gonna, like, rage or her claws...
Oh, yeah.
And he was gonna see something like that and be like, oh my god, they're mutants. And their family was gonna hate mutants or something because something happened with them.
Yeah.
But, sadly, just X-24...
That was crazy.
And by X-24, I mean...
Young Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman from the first X-Men movie. Not even the first
Not
X-Men
even,
movie.
like...
Wolverine Origins.
Either that or Wolverine, what was it, like, just Wolverine, I think it was
Wolverine,
called?
the one where he goes to Japan?
Yeah, the Wolverine, yeah. That was the other thing. When he went back to the place where they were staying in that, like, old steel mill or whatever it was.
And the sword?
And the sword was on there, I was like, oh, flashbacks.
I felt, because when he would dream and he would have the nightmares, that's when he would be seeing things. Going back to this, they could have shown what he was dreaming about.
Right.
It pretty much would have been the same as in the Avengers, Iron Man seeing everyone dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which, spoilers... That's the set they're on in the video that they released, where Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt, and Tom Holland are talking about being in the Avengers and how crazy it is to them.
Yeah.
The set that they're talking about that on is the set where everyone was dead.
Oh.
So that's going to be in Infinity War, spoilers. But back to Logan. Those kids, I liked that we saw every one of their powers, almost all their powers, mainly the powers that did stuff important.
Yeah.
Like the kid that electrocuted the whole car.
Yeah.
The kid that could just lift anything, the girl that did nature, the freezing person. But when, I don't remember that guy's name, the guy with the metal arm.
Yeah.
When they killed him.
Oh, that was great.
That was the silliest thing to me, because they're all doing the hand motions at him.
Yeah.
But only the grass is growing over him. Nothing else is happening to him.
Yeah. Well, was the kid who can move anything over him too? Because I think he might have been... Somebody might have been crushing him, too. Because he was, like... Looked like he was getting crushed.
Well, the grass was going over him and, like, pushing him down.
Okay. Maybe that was it, but it looked like more of him was being crushed than just the grass doing that.
I know, but that's all you could see, pretty much.
Yeah.
They could have, like, shown him being frozen. And then the grass, like, crumbling his body or something.
Like how she, like, broke the guy's arm by freezing it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
When the kid dropped the car, I guess... truck, van, whatever it's called, onto X-24. Instead of X-24 lifting it off himself, I feel like he should have just broken out of the side of it.
Yeah.
And it's been like, what are you trying to do?
Or because hasn't Wolverine before done in the past, like, the X thing, and then, like, smash through it? Yeah, do that.
That was a great movie, though.
So... Do you think X-24 threw Logan on the branch that killed him because of how he got hit by the truck and thrown into that tractor, like, spike thing?
I didn't even think about that.
I thought about that. I'm like, oh, wow, here, payback comes around, I guess.
I honestly didn't think about that at all. But that is probably why that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was probably a revenge thing, yeah. How is X-23 such a good driver?
Right. I don't know. You know what I think it is? Like, just a kid with a rough childhood, she just kind of gets it.
Well, she grew up in a lab. She didn't...
Yeah,
but... She grew up in a lab, and then
but
she was
also watching Logan drive for 2 or 3 days.
True. Also, no one's gonna pull over a little kid. And if they do, I mean, everyone's gonna pull over a little kid, but they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And what did she do to that guy whose car they stole? Or did she just take it?
I bet she just took it, honestly.
When they got to, what was the place called?
Eden.
I felt like they were, like, what was she, when she was standing on the thing, I thought that was gonna, like, there's gonna be, like, an actual thing there with more than just the kids.
Yeah.
There's gonna be, like, actual other mutants there. But it was just, like, a cabin on top of the hill.
Yeah, like, that was weird. Like, I want to know why that was there.
Unless someone from the comic book, like, read the comic book as a kid and was like, oh, I need to go to this place and make something.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I could think of, but they didn't really talk about anything with that. Other than that, there's not really anything bad about the movie.
No, not really.
Couldn't say anything bad about it.
No.
Except for the fact that Professor X used his powers once seamlessly to get the horses to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Seamlessly. Nothing bad happened. And that was the only time nothing bad happened. Also, that was probably the set. Like, I was like, that's not Logan, dude. That's not Logan. I thought it was honestly going to be the son coming, like, to get his iPod from the girl from X-23, but he just looks up and then it's... I was like, then the wife dies. Oh no, the son dies.
The son gets it first.
Then the wife gets killed.
Then the wife.
Then the husband gets attacked.
Yeah. And he somehow manages to go and get a shotgun and...
He was going to kill Logan, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was like, Professor X did all that, though. It was all Professor X's fault, because he had to stay the night.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still sad when he died.
Yeah, obviously. Best character in the movie, probably. When they're sitting in the hotel room, he's talking to X-23 about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Professor X would be such a great grandpa, just keep giving him those pills.
Yeah.
Also, could have just coated that tank in lead. Not even just lead, get those aprons that they put on you when you get an x-ray, just hang those around.
Yeah.
Like you're soundproofing the place.
Yeah, that's true.
But, all in all, I'd say it's a 9.8.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not perfect because no movie will ever be perfect.
Right.
Because it would have been perfect if, like, I don't know. It would have been perfect, I think, if Hugh Jackman was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in the Avengers at the end.
Yeah, right.
Or if Tony Stark just, like, flew down. Like, that would have actually pissed me off.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm thinking about it. But if they'd shown, like, an X-Men at the end, he's coming and helping the kids get to Canada.
Yeah, that would have been cool. You know who it's going to be? Ryan Reynolds.
Dude, if it was Sabretooth, because none of the mutants, I feel like mutants wouldn't hate each other anymore after they all get killed off.
Yeah.
What if Sabretooth was just, because Sabretooth is also from Canada, I think, because him and Logan are enemies before the X-Men even.
Well, him and Logan were actually brothers, I think.
In the
X-Men Origins, you see that. In, like, X-Men Origins, like, the Wolverine one.
Although Origins is accurate in naming Sabretooth Victor Creed, it is inaccurate that he is declared Logan's brother. X-Men Origins Wolverine is based much on the comic book series Wolverine Origins. The entire opening scene is a spin off the comic book's events. So he's not
his brother.
He's not his actual brother.
But they were close.
They were. I think they were in the. They were in Weapon X together. That's why.
Okay.
That's how. That all. But I think that's a good place to end this episode.
Yep.
Good conversation. Good long episode. There's just one thing I want to bring up because I forgot that I saw this movie. I saw Kong Skull Island.
Oh, did you?
And here's my, I'm going to say, 15-second review of the movie. Don't see it, and I want my money back.
Is that bad?
Yes. The whole movie is just so that they can make the Godzilla, the Kaiju cinematic universe, pretty much. Because at the end, after the credits, I don't give a shit if I spoil this movie for people. Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson are in, like, this interrogation room, and they don't know why, and then the black guy and the Asian girl that they've been with the whole time on Skull Island come in, and they're like, this isn't the first time this has happened, and then they show a slideshow, or like they show a video, and it's cave paintings, it shows Godzilla, it shows Ghidorah, it shows Mothra, then it cuts to black, and you hear the noise, and I'm like, no.
Great.
No.
Alright.
Also, the movie was, if you've seen Jurassic World and seen pretty much any movie with giant monsters, you've seen this movie. Except they don't really focus on the Kong falling in love with the woman story, sadly, where he wants to fuck the woman the whole time. Anyways, thank you for listening. Please rate and review us on iTunes. That's how we get in front of more eyes and ears. Follow the Twitter at Best Boys Podcast. Email us bestboyspodcast@gmail.com. Other than that, go see Logan. Please have Hugh Jackman be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and fuck Kong.